Good morning. My name is Cathleen Edmonds, and I am currently a grad student here at the University of Findlay. And my presentation is about finding voice online utilizing tools of the trade. So, to begin with, I am actually a teacher myself. I have been teaching in a regular junior high classroom in a Catholic school for 25 years now. So, it was a much different experience for me to be teaching as a grad student here at the University of Findlay. I am teaching online English 106, College Writing 2, Academic Writing and Research. So essentially, I am teaching freshman English this is the second course in freshman English. My class consists of non-traditional students. I have College Credit Plus students. I have traditional freshmen, some sophomores. So there's a wide variety of people that choose to take online classes through the University of Findlay. It's been a blessing for me because I live in Cleveland, so being able to teach online has enabled me to still teach and help out and be a grad student for the University of Findlay, and use some of my teaching skills. So this has challenged and stretched me in different directions, and I'm very grateful that I've had this experience. So my presentation then talks about how I found ways to incorporate voice online. So to begin with, online classrooms offer many conveniences, such as they are asynchronous, which means you don't necessarily have to be in front of your computer at the same time every day to have class. You can do this when it's convenient for you. It's helped me a lot in my career because as I'm teaching during the day, I don't have to worry about being in front of my computer at any one particular time. It gives me that flexibility. They are flexible. You can, watch the class or, participate in the class early in the week if you have things going on, or you can, wait till after your big events in the week if you have a big test coming up. So that's another convenience. You can go at your own pace. There are fewer distractions than a traditional classroom would have because you are in a room by yourself naturally if you're at home doing this. It encourages discussion. If you are that shy person in the room who doesn't always raise their hand, if you can post to a discussion board, you might be more willing to increase your participation level. And it's individualized. If you are stuck on a concept or need extra help, you simply email the instructor and they're able to provide that for you. I've actually done Blackboard Collaborative with a student last semester who had to speak with about her paper. It was pretty easy to set up and we were able to talk, and I was still in Cleveland and she was in Findlay. This semester, I actually even have a student who is online from California. So it's amazing to me that you're able to bring the same, level of quality instruction to all these different kinds of students. So while there are conveniences, there are also disadvantages, which is procrastination. Some students put everything off and don't ever get to it. Participation can vary. I mean, there's nobody there standing in front of you telling you need to raise your hand or post a discussion board. You kind of have to do it on your own. And then you don't build quite the same relationships as you do when you see somebody face to face. But through building voice online, you can overcome some of these disadvantages if you are truly looking to utilize that voice. So what is voice? Well, voice would be the tone and tenor of a piece of writing. It's the personal stamp of the writer. So through using voice, I attempt to put my personal stamp on the class and let them know what kind of a person I am through the different techniques I will be showing you. It also depends on a strong understanding of the purpose and audience. So by having my students do some of the activities I will mention, it helps me to understand who they are better and maybe what their purpose is for taking the class. And then finally, you're going to ask yourself, does the writing sound like me? When you're done with a piece of writing, you want it to have your own individual touch to it. And we'll talk about that too. So how do I go about building voice online? These are the tools I have come to work with over the past year. Learning about goals and interests to start off with, learning about your students' goals and interests, sharing your own, posting videos, a narrated weekly PowerPoint. I do discussion board posts as well as discussion board peer reviews. There's a free writing piece in the course where you're pre-writing your argument. And then I provide them with GarageBand feedback. So through all of these techniques, which I will outline here in my presentation, I'm actually able to build more of a connection with the students, which in turn encourages them to use their voice. So to begin with, my first assignment is making a video. I model a video introduction in which I introduce myself, talk about my hobbies, who I am, and then I request students to post a video and comment on two other students' videos. That way, number one, I get to see their faces and see what they're like, and I make little notes to myself as I'm looking at each video. and then they get to know each other a little bit better. They might find similar interests. The equestrians always find each other, and it gives them a chance to see who the other students are in the class as well. I also require that they send me an email of introduction, telling me about their hobbies, their family, their interests, their reasons for taking the course, maybe some goals that they have. Um, Another opportunity for me to get to know them a little better. And then I personally respond to each of their emails, welcoming them, each of them to the class, maybe having a comment or two about what they posted. Just trying to find some common connections. So that's the first thing I do to try to build voice in an online environment. The second thing is the introductory video. As I mentioned, I model this, I post this in Blackboard, and then I ask them to create a video of their own. So this is what my video is.
Hello, welcome to English 106. I am Mrs. Edmonds and I will be your instructor for this course. I live in Cleveland on the west side, so I actually have a lot of experience with taking online classes through the University of Findlay because I am currently a grad student. I have a husband and 2 kids. My kids are 14 and 15 years old. And my daughter is actually taking an online College Credit Plus class. So I do have a lot of experience with making online teaching resourceful for you. I have been a teacher for 25 years. So again, looking forward to teaching 106 with you this semester. I obviously don't live on campus, so if you would like to make an appointment to speak with me, please send me an email, and we'll set up a time when we can meet in Blackboard Collaborative and discuss any concerns you might have. But please email me. That's my primary mode of contact. Other than that, my interests, I do volunteer at a horse rescue on the west side of Cleveland with my daughter. So we do spend a lot of time with horses. I have a dog and a cat at home. And if I could do anything fun on the weekends, we go camping. And I also like to go to Cedar Point. And my favorite vacation destination is definitely Disney. So, a little bit about me now. I'd like you, for this first week, to create a video about yourself. In the video, please introduce yourself with your first and last name and tell the class and myself a little bit about what you like to do, your interests, your hobbies, your major, anything that we might need to know to get to know you a little better. Please post that video to the discussion board by Wednesday at noon. And in turn, I would like you to view other students' videos, maybe make a comment or say hello by Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. So that's your first big assignment. I posted directions for this in Blackboard, so you can find exactly how to post a video in there if you're not familiar with that. The video doesn't need to be long, just enough for us to get to know a little bit about you. So look forward to more videos, and I will see you all soon.
So that's my introductory video,
Hello,
as I mentioned,
welcome.
and this is, again, the chance that they have then to go ahead and make one of their own. So the next thing I do is a narrated weekly summary of the course. So each week, because I don't live closer to the One Button Studio, which is a wonderful tool for teachers, I do my own narrated weekly summaries at home. So I create a PowerPoint, and I go over all of the important things to know for the week, and then I narrate it myself. Again, another opportunity for me to put my personal voice into the classroom, so I could give them the emphasis, the ideas, what they need to know. And again, so they understand that I am a real person who is teaching this class. So here's my example from this week.
Welcome to week 12. So this week we start the reflection paper. This is the last paper for English 106 included in the portfolio, so you're almost there. Grading criteria can be found in the Unit 5 Revision and Portfolio tab, week 12 folder. And there's a lot of information there. Start with, when you write the reflection, start with 3 ways your writing has improved and 3 things to continue to work on. Then you want to narrow that down to 1 to 2 things for each. If you look at the grading criteria, everything's all spelled out there for you and exactly what to include. It should be 3 to 5 pages total. No documentation required. This is truly just a reflection. And it's due by Friday, April 12th at 5 o'clock. So it gives you a week to kind of work on all that. In the meantime, you have a journal due this Friday, which would be April 5th. And please update me on all the progress in reflection paper, any questions you might have about that. You should also update me on the progress of your revisions, because at this point you're revising the PSE. And making sure like all the additional comments I made on your revisions are fixed for portfolio, because portfolio is the big one. You really, really want to make sure everything is in place. The grading criteria really guides you to make sure you have everything you need to pass portfolio. And then any portfolio questions you might have. There's a lot of information on how to start that too. The portfolio, you want to begin looking at the directions for creating a template. There are several documents included in the Week 12 folder, a lot of stuff to assist you with that. There's a video, there's a step-by-step direction page. So that's something you want to start looking at. Maybe start getting the template ready, and then as you revise your essays and get them finalized, you can drop them into the portfolio. And looking ahead, next week the reflection paper is due by 5 o'clock on Friday, April 12th. You want to work on revising your PSE. You have that back. You have my comments on your revisions for those. And I'm working on grading your revisions for the LRE. You'll get those back soon. And the ARE. So in the meantime, work on creating the portfolio template and getting all that finalized. And remember, you do need to save process work for the ARE. So you need to have a rough draft or any other drafting that you did, any pre-writing. So make sure you're saving that in a separate folder too. So next week there'll be a little more direction on the portfolio, but you have pretty much everything you need this week if you want to start looking that over. And if you have any questions, please send me an email. Have a good week.
Okay, so again, each week I create one of those for my class and try to post it by Friday of the week before so they have the weekend to look it over. Again, giving them the opportunity to work a little more flexibly on the work that they're going to do for the week. So the next thing is a discussion board peer review. I do this each time there's a major paper, and it's a requirement then for them to peer review two students. And what they do is they go through this list of questions and they ask, go through, copy and paste it into a document, read through their peers' papers, and give them their own personal feedback. Hey, I didn't understand this. What do you think about that? Have you tried this? And they go through point by point, making sure all these things are there. Number one, it's always helpful to have another person look over your work, and sometimes this might be the only time they seek help. And it gives students an idea of what an academic paper could look like for the same assignment that they're also working on. And it gives them a chance again to communicate with each other. And once they've established that they know who each other is and they're able to give each other feedback, it increases their comfort level and again helps them as they go to revise. Another option is free writing in a discussion board post. I do this with the argument research essay, and you want to do this to avoid sounding like just a review of literature. We don't want to know what the literature said. We want to know what they have to say. This is where the first step in writing the argument paper is having them just compose a draft without any sources. Again, just to get their own ideas out there, finding their own voice, their own position. And since they're doing it on discussion board, number one, they're accountable for doing it. And then number two, their classmates can comment on or offer information. So if it's a topic that a classmate also might have in common, they can share sources. Maybe they're giving a different viewpoint than their classmate did, and it offers them an opposing viewpoint. There's lots and lots of things that can come of all this, but by doing this free writing activity, it does help students develop their own voice. The next thing I do is a GarageBand narrated essay feedback. So when students write essays for me, I will do a rubric and I will write on the rubric and make comments and I will comment on their paper electronically and I will scan the rubric and send it back with the document that I have kind of written all over with notations. But then what I like to do is a narrated feedback where I look over their essay again and I kind of say what I think about it. And they can, again, hear my voice. They know that I'm a real person grading their papers. And it helps them to see maybe where I really, sometimes you can say things better with words than you can in the written form. So I do this on Blackboard. There's a folder I create for each student. And I'm able to put these into their folder so only they can actually receive the narrated feedback from me. So here's an example of one of those.
Hello, Ashley. This is Mrs. Edmonds. I was pretty impressed by your primary source essay. Your thesis, Colleges Need to Introduce More Opportunities to Teach College Students the Proper Skills in Their Daily Lives, was very concise, to the point, left lots of room for your points. Very well done. Your positives, your introduction was very nicely stated. Your transitions were excellent. I did really like your mapping paragraph. And you did a nice job with your narration paragraph too. And really everything was very well developed. You followed the outline format perfectly, which is exactly what I need you to do for the rest of the essays we're writing. Your points were very well developed, and really, I was very impressed. You did a nice job with your quoting. So, if you have any questions, please see me, but otherwise, please keep up the good work. I did enjoy reading yours. Thank you.
Okay, so that's just one more option for online instruction. Then, to sum it all up, voice can be found online. You can learn about their goals and interests. You can post videos. You can provide a narrated PowerPoint each week. You can also do a discussion board, post peer review. You can do free writing for finding voice and argument papers and GarageBand feedback. So, again, these are all of the tools that I utilize when I am teaching English 106 online. And hopefully, this can help you with a trick or two of your own. Thank you.